Black just played. On h4, pause the video to spot white's next move. King f3. King e6. King g4. King d6. On f5. White is aiming to play. King g5. On c5. On takes c6. King takes c6. On f6. King d6. King g6, and establish a winning position. King c5 was chosen by black. On f6. King takes b5. On f7. On c5. On promotes to queen at f8. White wants to play. Queen f4. King c6. Queen a4 check. On b5. Queen a6 check, and establish a winning position. King b4. Black has no response. Let's go to the next game. White played. King takes d4. Pause the video to find out black's response. King f3. King c5. King takes f2. King b6. On g3. King takes a5. King e3. King takes b4. On g2. On a4. On promotes to queen at g1. Black is preparing to play. King d2. On a5. Queen a7. King b5. King takes c2, and establish a winning position. King c5. Black has a strong upper hand. Let's go to the next game. Black played. King f6. Pause the video and try to predict white's next move. On h5. On g5 check. On takes g6. On h5. On g7. White considers playing. Pawn promotes to queen at g8 and sees the initiative. King takes g7 was chosen by black. King takes f5. King f7. King g5. King e6. King takes h5. King d5. Black has no response. Let's go to the next game. Black played. On f5. Pause the video to figure out white's next move. On takes f6. Bishop f5. Rook takes f5. On takes f5. Queen e6 check. Rook f7. Queen takes c6. Knight takes f6. Bishop f4. On the 5. Bishop takes b5. On g5. White is clearly ahead. Let's go to the next game. White made a move. King b3. Pause the video to spot black's next move. On a4 check. King a3. Queen d6 check. On b4. On takes b3 check. King takes b3. Queen a3 check. King c2. Queen takes a2 check. King d3. Queen c4 check. King d2. Rook a2 check. King d1. White intends to play. Rook e8 check. King f7. Queen e6 mate, and gain a significant edge. Rook takes e2 was chosen by black. Rook takes e2. Black is clearly ahead. Let's go to the next game. Black played. Rook takes g5. Pause the video to analyze white's next move. Rook g4. Rook takes g4 check. King takes g4. King f7. King h5. King e7. On g4. On d5. On takes d6 check. King takes d6. On g5. King c5. On g6. King d4. On g7. King d5. On promotes to queen at g8. White considers playing. Queen g4. On e5. King g5, and sees the initiative. King d4. Black is struggling to keep up. Let's go to the next game. White played. King c3. Pause the video and try to find black's next move. King c5. On b4 check. On takes b3. King takes b3. King d4. King b4. King takes e4. King takes b5. King d4. On a4. On e4. On a5. On e3. On a6. On e2. On a7. White is looking to play. On promotes to queen at a8. On promotes to queen at e1. Queen d8 check. King e3. Queen takes g5 check and gain a significant edge. On promotes to queen at e1 move preferred by black. Black intends to play. Queen e8 check. King b6. Queen c8. King a5. Queen c6 and seize the initiative. On promotes to rook at 8 black is dominating the board. Let's go to the next game. Black just played. On g5 pause the video to figure out white's next move. On takes g6. On takes g6. Rook takes g6. Queen takes h3. Rook dg1. White is planning to play. Bishop c6 check. King d8. Rook g8 check. Rook takes g8. Rook takes g8 check. Bishop f8. Rook takes f8 check and establish a winning position. King d8 played by black. Bishop e6. White considers playing bishop takes h3 and seize the initiative. Queen f3 played by black. Rook g8 check. Rook takes g8. Rook takes g8 check. Bishop f8. Queen takes h6. King e7. Queen h7 check. King takes e6. Rook g6 check. Queen f6. Rook takes f6 check. King takes f6. Black is outplayed. Let's go to the next game. Black made a move. On g5 pause the video to spot white's next move. On takes g6 check. King takes g6. King g8. King f6. King f8. King e5. King e7. White is planning to play. King d8. King d5. King d7. King c4. King takes c6 and seize the initiative. King d5 was chosen by black. King d7. White's idea is to play. King c7. King c4. King takes c6 and seize the initiative. King c4 played by black. King takes c6. King takes b4. King d5. King b3. On c6. White is setting up to play. King d4. On b4. On c7. King c2. On promotes to queen at c8 check. King d2. Queen f5. King e2. Queen c2 check and take decisive advantage. King c3 was chosen by black. On c7. White is setting up to play. Pawn promotes to queen at c8 check and increase their advantage significantly. King d3 played by black. King c5. King e4. King b4. White is preparing to play. King takes b5 and dominate the board. King e3 was chosen by black. King takes b5. King f4. White has a decisive advantage. Let's go to the next game. Black just played. King d5. Pause the video to figure out white's next move. King b3. On b6. Black might go for. On takes a5. On takes a5. King takes a5 and dominate the board. On takes b6 was chosen by white. King takes b6. King a4. King a6. On b5 check. King b7. King a5. White is preparing to play. Pawn b6. King c6. King a6 and seize the initiative. On h5 move preferred by black. Black is looking to play pawn takes g4 and seize the initiative. Pawn takes h5 was chosen by white. On g4. On h6. On g3. On h7. On g2. Pawn promotes to queen at h8. White wants to play. Queen g7 check. King c8. King b6. King d8. King c6. King e8. King d6. Pawn promotes to queen at g1. Queen e7 mate and seize the initiative. Pawn promotes to queen at g1 played by black. Queen e5. Queen a1 check. King b4. Queen b1 check. King c5. White wants to play. Queen g7 check. King c8. King b6. King d8. Queen f8 check. King d7. Queen f7 check and increase their advantage significantly. Queen h7 was chosen by black. Queen takes d5 check. King c7 white has a decisive advantage. Let's go to the next game.